Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm Taylor, but I go by tramsue on all of my platforms. And today I'm going to be showing you how to achieve this summer makeup routine. This is a soft glam, beginner friendly makeup tutorial. Now, this is for those who really want to learn how to do a soft glam look. This is not a 5-minute makeup routine, which I have already posted for y'all. So make sure you check my shorts out. I may do a longer video for that, but that's not what we're here for today. This is for the girls who really want to level up their makeup this year and still a beginner in their journey. I hope that this is very helpful for you, but most importantly, that is encouraging to you because you can do this. I remember when I first started and I had people like Jackie Ina, Alyssa Ashley, and the list goes on. So hopefully I can be that for you. But before we get into the video, I do want to ask, are you subscribed? Are you a part of the Party People family? Because over here, we celebrate life every single day as a Party People, and why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? Exactly. Go ahead and do that and we'll get right into the video. I'm starting off with clean and moisturized skin. Always make sure you're starting off with your skin moisturized because the more moisturized your skin is, the better your makeup will look and the easier it is to apply. I always start off any makeup look with this Milk setting spray. It's also a refresh spray, so you could spray before your makeup throughout the day and also to set your makeup. But because it gives me such a glow, I like to just go in with it before I even start my makeup or put any other makeup products on my face. Also, another thing that you should definitely add into your makeup kit is a portable fan. This right here saves lives. It truly saves lives and it will speed up your makeup time like no other. The next step in your makeup routine should always be primer. Now, there are so many different primers on the market and so many that I like depending on what kind of makeup look I want to do. But because this is a summer makeup routine, it is so important that we beat the heat and that our makeup isn't shifting and just sliding down our face for the entire day. And I'm going in with this Huda Beauty primer. This has easily become one of my favorites. And I just feel like it makes my skin look like a filter with makeup. And I just like it. I really do. You'll see throughout this video that I am definitely a Huda Beauty stan. Love their products. So we are just going to rub that in all over our face. And I'm using this primer because I naturally have very dry skin. So using a mattifying primer would just be a bit too much for me. But if you have oily skin, I would definitely recommend the One Size primer, the mattifying primer. I've heard great things about that. It's just not for my skin. It will make it literally like sandpaper. Naturally, I have very thick brows and I lean into that. So I go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel. This is literally the best brow gel I've ever used. I've used brow waxes. I've used all different types of brow products, but there is not one in this world that is beating this one. And this is the consistency. So it looks like a gel, just like this. And I take the spatula portion of it and apply it just to my brows. And then I take the other brush part and actually brush it through my brows. And make them really stand up. And then we're going in with our handy dandy fan again, because if you don't allow this product to dry down, it's going to mix in with your other brow products and it's just not going to be good. So now that our brows are tacky, we are going to go in and fill them in with my favorite brow product, which is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Espresso. It has two sides. This side is the pencil and this side is a spoolie for your brows. I like to start by just underlining my brow and creating like a little outline for the bottom. And then I start to fill in the back half because I really do like a natural feathery brow look. So I just go in and do hair-like strokes upward on the back end of my brow. So we have that gradient look. So I don't know, it just looks way more natural when you do it this way. When you start filling in from here, I feel like it gives brick or like a block. And so now you can see the difference between my two brows. This one just looks a little bit more full at the end and it looks a little bit more cohesive. And this one you could tell where I have sparse areas on the end. So we're just going to repeat the same steps on the other brow. So once I feel like they are pretty even, we're going to conceal the bottom of our brows with a concealer from the Lip Bar. It is my absolute favorite concealer to conceal my brows with specifically. It is the Quick Conceal in the shade Cinnamon 2.0. This shade is very similar to my actual skin tone, and I do that because I don't like my brows to look super scary or super fake, you know? So I go in with the applicator and underline And then I go in with the front and underline and connect the part that we've already done. And then I go in with the concealer brush from MAC that I've had since high school. MAC knows how to do brushes, which is why it lasts so long. And I blend that out. I start by making sure my line is straight, and if it's not straight, evening it out, and then just brushing that down. You can use a concealer that is your exact same skin tone, but I go like one shade lighter just to make them look a little bit more defined. And we are only doing this on the bottom part of our brows. We are not concealing the top of our brows. And now you can see the difference of the concealed brow and the one that isn't concealed. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Just to get a little bit closer, it just looks a little bit more arched and clean. And then I'm just going to take that excess concealer and blend out the middle so we don't have a unibrow. I'm going to take a little bit more concealer and put it on my actual eyelid to prime our eyes for eyeshadow. And then I'm going to take a little baby beauty blender and blend that out on each eye. And then take some setting powder that is the same color as the eyeshadow or my skin and set it so our eyes have a good base for eyeshadow. I am using the Huda Beauty setting powder, the Easy Bake in Cinnamon Bun. And this is the shade. And again, you can use an eyeshadow primer, but just to ensure that you're using less product, you can use concealer as well. It works just the same. So today we are using the Too Faced Born This Way Neutral Nude Palette. And I haven't been wearing eyeshadow for years at this point, but I have been playing in makeup more, and the eyeshadow look that I created a few days ago was just too good not to share. So we are going to go in with this brown shade called Truffle, but you can use honestly, you can use eyeshadow, or you can use like a contour that you have, a contour powder that you have, if it's the same color. Use what you have. If you don't learn anything else from me, use what you already have. You can't make it work. So I'm going in with this color right here as my transition shade. And a transition shade is just a shade that you're putting in your crease right here. That will be the base for any other color that you add to the makeup look. I'm going in with that brown, and we are taking an eyeshadow brush from Morphe, dabbing it a little bit because these are very pigmented. And we're going to start on the outer corner and go up. So you're blending here, here, blending here, here, and then whatever excess you have left over, you blend right over here. Again, this is very, very pigmented, so you can be light. You don't need to be heavy-handed with this eyeshadow palette. And the key to eyeshadow is just to keep blending. If it looks too harsh, just keep blending. Then we're going to go into our Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette and use the shade Black. Now, you don't have to do this, but this is like my soft glam summer nighttime makeup routine. So we do want to do a little bit of a smoky eye, and we're just going to take that same brush, take one, and I mean one dab, and we're going to place that black in our inner corner, just right here. And you see how much we already have? Now you can take your brush and dab off the excess, and we're just going to blend this out. And you're not going to drag it into your over here. We're just keeping it right here on the outer corners. So you're blending here, going up a little bit, blending here, going up a little bit, and you can even go out and like smoke it out this way, but do not bring it over here. It's going to like you have a black eye. Right here, right here, right here, right here. Keeping it cute. Keeping it in one place. And I hope you have your makeup stuff out and you're doing this with me, because we're getting ready together. It's not a tutorial if you're not doing it with me. So if you need to pause this video and go get your makeup, go get it. Okay, so do we see the difference between this eye and this eye? We're going to repeat. And for the last step, because we are shimmer girls, we're going to go in with this shimmering pearl shade right here with a flathead brush. And we're just going to pack that on to our eye, the inner corner about to right here. All right, now that that is done, we're going to go back in one more time with that transition shade and just make sure that everything looks seamless, and just go back in just like this. Our eyes are done. We're going into the face now, And I'm going in with my favorite foundation right now. It's the Urban Decay's Face Bond Foundation in the shade 28 Medium Deep Neutral. I'm going to apply it to the back of my hand just like this. And then I really love this One Size B12 Base Thinner. It's a serum that you can add into your foundations. It helps with coverage, but it also just gives you a little bit more radiance, and I love radiance. So I'm going to add 1 pump of this as well to my foundation and mix that up with the back of one of my brushes. I almost forgot a super important step. If you have smile lines like I do, go in with some setting powder. I'm using the same setting powder that I use to set my eyes into your smile lines before you apply foundation. This will just help it to not crease throughout the day. And because you have primer already down, the primer will help this stick and not lift with your foundation. Now that that is blended out, I'm going in with the IT Cosmetics All Over Complexion Perfection brush in number 7 and using this side to blend out my foundation. And I am just pushing it into my skin. I'm not swiping it, I'm not dragging it, just pushing it in. So now that our foundation is applied, our skin just looks so much more even, which is the whole point and purpose of foundation, is to cover any blemishes that you may have, any imperfections, but also just to give you an even skin tone. Your foundation should always match your neck. Going in with concealer, I'm using the Lancome Teint Idole All Over Concealer. I don't remember what shade this is in because this is like a custom color, but I will link it down below for you. And we're just taking a little bit, applying it to the inner corner of our eye. And then we're going to take it right here where our eyeshadow is and make a straight line to give us that cat eye effect and give our eyes a lift. I'm using the Dibs bronzer in the shade Level Up. And so I just take this, apply just a little bit to my cheek, curve it up a little bit, and we're doing the same thing on the other side. Now I prefer bronzer over contour because contour is just too harsh for my face. I have very soft features, and contour just makes my face look a little bit too hard for my personal liking. But just this little bit of bronzer will do the trick. So we're going to take an angled brush, an angled fluffy brush, and brush that up, not down, because if you drag it down, your face is going to look sad. So we're just going to brush that up. So you can see the difference between this side and this side. Just keep blending. If you don't get anything else from this video, just keep blending. So now that our bronzer is blended out, we're going to go in with this very small beauty blender and blend out our concealer. Now I use a beauty blender because if you're a beginner, using a brush is going to be a little bit more difficult, and it's going to be harder, and it's going to take longer for you to blend it out. So we're going to take this and just blend into the inner corner and down our nose, because we are not going to contour. This is called non-touring. I learned this from Jackie Ina. Shout out to our girl. Where you take concealer and bring it down your nose, and it acts as a contour, like a reverse contour, then adding contour to your nose, because again, contour on my face just does not work, and I love a subtle, soft look. So we're just going to take that down, and then bring this line, make sure that it's completely blended as well. And I'm going to show you a trick if you don't get it fully blended with the beauty blender. And so if you're having a hard time blending out your concealer, you can always take the brush that you applied your foundation with and blend out any harsh lines. You can always do that. And the concealer shade that I chose isn't too bright for me because we're going to go back in with a brightening one for the inner corners of our eyes. So you can choose a concealer shade that's 1 or 2 or 2 to 3 shades lighter than your actual skin tone to blend out more seamlessly. Now on to blush. I'm going in with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint in the shade 41. This is a more red blush, and I chose this because, again, we are doing a more smoky eye look, and pink is just a little bit too soft for a blush color for this look, but this red isn't too red. So I'm just going to take 2 dots to the top of my cheeks. We're not putting blush right here. We're going here and we're going to blend it up. I'm taking a blush brush we're going to blend that out. Again, we're going upwards. We're not dragging it down. You see how it was so red at the beginning and now it's just blending out perfectly? Black girls need blush too. Okay, so you can see the difference between this side and this side. You need some blush in your life. You need some blush. So we're going to do the exact same thing to the other side. 1, 2. Don't blend anything down. And don't be scared if it looks too bright, if it seems like it's not blending. Just keep blending. Blending is the name of the game. Do not get discouraged. You're doing it right. Just keep blending. And again, if you feel like you put too much on, you can always go back to that foundation brush and blend that out with the foundation brush. So now that our blush is on, our blush is blended, we're going to go in with a brightening concealer. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 30. Now, when you see the shade of this concealer, you're going to see why we haven't blended out the blush yet. We're just putting it right here in our inner corner, just a little dash right here. We're going to take that mini beauty blender again and blend just right here under the eye. So you want to keep it as close to your under eye as possible. We are not dragging this down our entire face, right under the eye. And this is why I say don't go back in with that foundation brush just yet, because this concealer can take away some of that blush. So you see how this eliminated some of that blush? Don't worry, it's going to blend out. You're doing a great job, sweetie. Now that we're done applying our concealer and our blush is in place, I'm going in with the One Size Loose setting powder in the shade Marigold under my eye to set my under eye. I am using the Huda Beauty Mini Puff to set my under eye. I'm going to dab a little bit of the product onto this, and then I'm going to dab it onto the back of my hand, because if you don't, there will be excess product going completely under your eye, and it's not going to be good. So once you get it on the puff, you're going to dab it onto the back of your hands, okay? And then you're going to go in on your under eye. You see how controlled that is? If I were to just go in straight off, it will look like that, and we don't want that. We're going back in with that Huda Beauty loose setting powder in the shade Cinnamon Bun, which is very close to our skin tone, and setting the rest of our face. So we are actually going to use a big fluffy brush to set the rest of our face. So I poured some of the powder in here, and we have our big fluffy brush. I'm just going to do a little bit, tap it. Again, I always want to get rid of that excess. And I'm going to go anywhere I put foundation. Now you can use a pressed powder. I just ran out of mine, so I'm using this instead, and it's just as good. Anywhere you put foundation, you want to set that. I'm going to put a little bit on my forehead. And then to blend out the powder that we have sitting under our eyes, we're going to take this as well and just brush away any excess powder. And now our entire face is set. Things should start looking super seamless again. So now I'm going in with this Clinique blush in the shade Cola Pop, which is very similar to the shade that we already used. Going back in with my blush brush. And we are going to bring back a little bit of that color that we lost due to setting the rest of our face with powder. See, it's coming back. So at this point, you probably feel like a dusty, crusty dragon because your face is just set with so much powder, and this is exactly where you need to be. You're going to go in with a setting spray to bring the life back into your face. I'm using the Anastasia Impeccable Setting Spray. I've just been using, I like this one, and it is super hydrating, and I don't know, it just meshes your makeup super well together. Handy dandy fan. So you see how we don't look like a dry dragon anymore? There's a little bit of radiance there. So now that that is complete, we are going to put on some mascara, and my favorite mascara in the entire world is the Fenty Hella Thick Mascara. It is so good. As someone who really doesn't have lashes, this has made me wear my natural lashes so much more. Because I have stepped away from wearing falsies. And if you're a beginner, you don't even know how to put falsies on. So don't even worry about that, baby. Get you some mascara and we're going to work with what we got. Hello, 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 hello. So we're going to do just a little bit on the bottom lashes. And again, because I am a part of the No Lash crew, I'm going in with another mascara. This is the YSL mascara, just to make my lashes a little bit more thick. Love, love, love. The look is coming together, girl. Now for the lips, I'm actually going to use an OG in the makeup community, the MAC Chestnut Lip Liner. I'm just going to outline my lips. And one tip for the bottom, do your lips like this, because you want to make sure that the line is straight. If you just do it like this, look at how much I'm missing. So if you do it this way, you'll actually get to the bottom. Like you'll have full coverage. And I like to take my lip liner and do the sides because it just blends better. And then once I do that, we're not rubbing it. We're just... So now you can see where your actual lipstick is going to go. And I'm going in with the Valentino, what shade is Rosso. I'm going in with the Rosso Valentino Satin Lipstick in the shade 100R. And this is very like nude looking, pinkish. And going in at the center. Oh, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And because I am a gloss girl, I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Faux Filler Lip Gloss in the shade, ooh, baby. So I'm just going to take this all over my lips. And then for the very last step, I'm going in with my One Size Until Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. Now this is really what's going to keep you and get you through the summer heat. This is not going anywhere. Your makeup is not going to move. It's not going to slide. It's going to stay in place. And that, my friends, is a completed makeup look. Now that I am in different lighting, I hope you can see how soft and natural this makeup look is. Most importantly, I hope that this video was very helpful to you on your makeup journey as a beginner, because we were all beginners at some point and we all needed a little help along the way. So I hope this gives you the confidence to continue on your makeup journey. I'm so glad that you allowed me to be a part of it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment how you feel in the comment section below. And always, always, always stay prayed up and stay motivated. And I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.